Hey YouTubers and live videoers. This is another response going out to Jesus Freak 777. I didn't see it, but I answer another question from Revelation 13:16. Unfortunately, he totally botches it. Because, just like in the past video, he takes his New Testament theology, modern day Testament theology, and imposes it on something coming out of the Roman era, and ends up uh, interpreting that into a modern day situation, which is fine. He's doing exactly what the metaphor is supposed to do, and he's doing exactly what the writer of Revelation did when he wrote. So I'm going to go through this and explain all this stuff. Not that I know everything about it. There's probably some people out there that are going to disagree with me, and that's well and good. I'd like to hear it. So, we're talking about Revelation 13. And here we have the current setting where you have the images of the beast, and what the writer was trying to do is accumulate all the evils that were ever said and heap them upon the Roman Empire. So you get the 10 plagues. 10 plagues are elaborated on in Revelation. So instead of just being insects, they end up being scorpions, and things are like made to be 10 times worse. And the torture is 10 times worse. So the oppressors here really have it coming to them. At any rate, here we got and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea. This could be a throwback to the Hebrew word for sea is Yam. Yam was a Canaanite sea god who did battle with Baal and was defeated, and also he shows up in the Song of the Sea, in the Song of Miriam, in Exodus, I believe 13, I think it is. Maybe I have the reference wrong. And saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and horns. Now, if you take and you read Daniel, and at the same time you're reading Daniel, you're reading this, and at the same time you're reading about the persecution of the Greek king on the Jewish people when he was trying to Hellenize the Jewish people and their refusal to be Hellenized. The same thing is going on here. Same scenario. He says, let's go get that stuff. Let's bring those metaphors out and use them here. And they are used here. So you have Beast of the Sea coming up, the Leviathan, the serpent, and the sea. Yam is always doing battle with the deity until he's bound in Revelation and fight's over. And the beast which I saw was like a leopard. So here you have in verse 13 too. You have a land beast also, and this is land beasts were kind of like the Beloth or the Wombaba of the Sumerians in Gilgamesh. There's the Wombaba who guarded the cedar forest. So that kind of imagery is there. And these are being likened to Nero and his emperor cult. And so people are worshiping the dragon simply because they don't want to get their heads cut off. And the emperor cult has spies all over the place. And if you don't do what they say, your head gets cut off. And that's the environment that they lived in. And the blasphemy, instead of Greek oppression, you have Roman oppression, and so they're trying to assimilate the Jewish nation into their belief system. And the idea of the inflicted wound, They thought after the death of Nero committed suicide that he actually went off and would come back with an army. So they were looking for that to happen. And then you come down to the 1316, he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bound, to receive a mark on their right hand or in their foreheads. This was Roman money and coins. Since Roman Empire ruled pretty much the known world at that time, you had to use the money. And the emperors, who were part deity, and were thought to be part deity, and the emperor cult, promoting the emperor religion, you couldn't buy or sell or anything without having the money. So that's what that means. Mark in their right hand, they're exchanging money. And here's wisdom, let them understand the 666, blah, blah, blah. Each Hebrew letter was assigned certain numbers. People are still trying to figure that out. However, I don't see any place in here where you'd get the Pope being Antichrist. There's been plenty of accusations by fundamentalists and evangelicals on who the Antichrist might be. It could be Hitler. I think even at one time it was Stalin. Another time it was Ronald Reagan. Even back before that, it was the Pope. Whoever they happened not to like at the time, and they considered a threat. So I would suggest, for some real background history on this sort of imagery and these sorts of metaphors, reading the texts of Maccabees 1 and 2, which is not in the Protestant Bible, but it is very important. So if you go and read those, then you read Daniel, the last part of Daniel, the first 7 chapters, I believe, are stories of Daniel. If you want to read about the, let's see what we got here. Yes, first 7. If you want to read about the visions of Daniel, read Maccabees, see how it all fits together, how they're being tortured, the blasphemy, where they set up Zeus in the Hebrew temple. That's all in there. The abomination of desolation, where they forced people to eat pork, all that. So the writer of Revelation is taking all that imagery and moving it ahead to apply it to the Roman Empire. So that's what that's about. And as the metaphor, however you read into this, you could very well apply it to almost anything you wanted to. So a lot of people have fun with that one. So, okay. Hopefully I talked some sense here. Maybe not, but take care.